Hello everyone, I'm Lulu and I wanted to talk and express the power of the mind, emotion, and most importantly the power of intention. Intention being the foundation to all of it. Um, the power of the mind, and I say this a lot and because I believe it to be so, and I've seen the power of the mind. I've seen it work through me and through electronics and other things. So with that being said, I wanted to really discuss how intention is the foundation to the mind and the emotion. We can seem to steer away. We get in habits where we habitually do things where we don't even realize our intent behind them because we're so in that habitually. And it's always, everything to me is about a healing process. How do I heal? And the best, strongest and fastest way to heal is through love, the vibration of love being the strongest and the most highest. And when we come mindful and we try to put that love into our intent behind all things that we do, then we start to see really miraculous things happening. I've seen myself and others heal just from the power of their mind through intent, loving intent, most importantly. And I stress and say loving intent most importantly because sometimes we don't even realize the negatives that we do, or a lot of people, the naysayers that like to gossip, talk about people. They say, gosh, this person, Joe Smith, he's such an a-hole. He did this at work and then totally pushed me under the bus. Like, I hope that he trips and falls on a stick. Well, sometimes we don't know where these people are at in their lives and vibrationally. So when we give in and we give the same vibration that we're getting in a negative way, it starts to habitualize an ill intent. So therefore, we want to start unhabitualizing that. And when we do that, we hurt ourselves and we hurt the person that we're involved with. Now, that is on a more negative level. I want to stay more on a positive and stress this more on a positive aspect to show you how things really work. For instance, people that give love, they empower each other. They will good things for people. People may think that another person cannot affect another person on a vibrational level, but you can on a full circle in all facets. For an example, we can either help people in a healing process or we can hinder them. We can help them with love and intent. We can hurt them with ill will. For example, I had somebody come to me and say, my sister, she gets me so upset. She just always makes the wrong choices. And I've tried to help her. I'm just done helping her. I'm tired of doing this for her. And I'm tired of her always making the better choices. And, she's never gonna get it. She's never gonna learn. And when we do those things, we're in then not only not helping that sister, but we're also not helping ourselves. We're not allowing them to heal because we're holding that vibration in agreement with them. So that oh, they're never going to get right, rather than, hey, my sister, she's going to get right. She's going to heal. I have power and prayer, and I know that I accept her for what she is, and I know that as she grows, in order for her to grow, I need to allow her to make her choices, not be judgmental on those choices, and give that vibration, that intent of love. I love my sister. She does not make choices that are always best in her process of growth or in her life in general. So that not one only allows you to heal, but it also allows, most importantly, your sister to heal. You give them that unconditional love, that free will, that everybody that God gives, that unconditional. It's hard for us as humans to put forth that in our action in our daily lives, but it can be rather simple if we be mindful of it and just try to grow and practice that more and every day. And love is the most high healing vibration. Another example, This girl I seen posted on Facebook, oh, I feel so wonderful. I helped this guy. He was homeless. I gave him a jacket and I gave him a sandwich. That was all I had. And he just felt really good. And it made me feel really good. So when we do an act of service, we do an act of love. When we put ourselves in a habitual act of love, we grow, not only just grow, but we heal immensely internally, on all mind, body, spirit, on all facets of life, regardless of where you come from, what your views are on life. I believe that, there is truth in some religion and there is truth in science. And to combine these two, when we combine the two, we have science that says there's vibration, and we have God that gives us this love. So when we put these two together, and we be mindful, we give ourselves in practice to try to do acts of service, because when we do acts of service, we do acts of love. And that's why, I always try to go out and help, a person from church or a neighbor or a friend in any way that I can do that. Sometimes just the power of prayer. The power of prayer is so powerful, and that comes down to intent. When we put our intentions into the power of prayer, when we put our intentions into giving love to not only our friends and family, but most importantly, giving love to ourselves. We want to make sure that our intentions are right when we talk about ourselves and when we talk about others. We want to make sure that our intentions are right when, our kid asks us a question and they want us to give them guidance on that question. So we want to have that practice in love and in that intention. When you direct yourself in a more negative intention, well, I'm going to do this to get this. See, when we feel like, okay, well, I'm just going to do these deeds because karma, it'll come back to me. I'm only doing it just because karma's going to come back to me, or am I doing it because it's what I enjoy doing? Do I have that proper intent there? Again, intent is that key foundation, the key core to everything that happens in all what's around us, regardless of, if you believe the earth is flat or if you believe the earth is round. I would say on a common basis that, again, it comes down to intent, love, and how we put forth into service. And again, I want to express that service can happen in many, many different ways. We don't have to overextend ourselves to be in service of others. Quite the opposite. We extend ourselves with what we offer in service to others, what we have in ourselves, without overextending what we have as far as materialistic, our value, our health, our spirit, as long as it's congruent with a good will and a good intent. So, for example, you don't, per se, want to do something for somebody that says, hey, Lou, will you go slash that person's tire for me because that person's whatever. That's not an act of service, because what's your intent behind it? So always be in the practice of how can I, not just how can I better myself to be for others, but how can I better myself to be for me? How do I gain the awareness to get into that in proper intention? And my answer to that is think about love. What would be a loving way? And again, you can't attach possession to love, because love is not a possession. Love is an act of service. And I thank you. I'll leave you with that.